The National Education Policy 2020 was a landmark initiative for the Indian education system. It's calling for deep sector reform and a systematic overhaul. The policy recommended incorporating life skill as a part of the curriculum, taking into account the view that education must go beyond academic outcomes. Its focus on the holistic development for our future generations. So coincidentally, this came at a time when the world was in the grips of COVID-19, a period marked by health crisis, upending and exacerbating and learning loss across the board. So the findings of a 2019 UNICEF report states that more than half the youth of South Asia will have neither the education nor the skill needed to be employable in 2030. It's highlighting the dire reality of our future. The problem with India is not only unemployment but also unemployability. There are 650 million Indians under the age of 25, the largest youth population in the world. So which present a unique situation. So almost 22% of the incremental global workforce over the next 3 decades will come from India. So with the right interventions, this demographic dividend can easily be converted into a sustainable opportunity. So life skill are a set of abilities, attitude and social emotional competencies that enable individual to learn, make informed decisions and exercise a right to lead a healthy and productive life, and it's subsequently become agent of change. So life skill promote mental well-being and competence in the young people as they face the realities of the life. So these skills support the development of foundational skills such as literacy, numeracy, so digital skill, and can also be utilized in several areas such as gender equality in education, environment education, peace education or education for development. It's a livelihood and income generation and for positive health promotion among others. So life skill empower young people to take a positive action to participate in their communities. Its engagement in continuous learning protect themselves and promote health and positive social relationship. So time management is skill for kids, student, self-awareness, interpersonal relationship skill. It's give the ability to adapt to situation, preserve and constantly reevaluate, reassess and restructure life. So allow a student to comprehend and address situations. So critical thinking skill allows a student to comprehend and address situations based on the available information and facts. So critical thinking involves organizing and processing fact, information and other data to outline a problem and develop effective resolutions. So having the ability to think creatively allow us to reconsider things from a fresh perspective and from new angles. It's an innovative thought process which result in surprising deduction and new ways of doing things. So creative thinking can be added by lateral thinking or brainstorming to create ideas. Knowledge is the core of a productive society. So however, the ability to learn and apply critical thinking skill to solving problems, both defined as a skill, is more important than the accumulation of knowledge. So the ability support the individuals to invent and innovative, leading to social and economic growth. So in India, children and adolescents have low level of understanding and conceptual clarity around learning, analytical skill and knowledge of human rights. It's including gender equality. So National Achievement Survey State Learning Achievement Survey, annual status of education report, program for international student assessment are large-scale assessment that have consistently pointed to the poor learning level of children in language and in mathematics even after 8 years of education. So a fragile, knowledge society has a ramification on the ability of its member in understanding and applying learning to gain opportunities and build a productive society. So this is driving inequalities in health, education, and life, chances, and is most pronounced in some states and pockets of India. So the country is experiencing about poverty and underdevelopment in several geographical concentrations, where young people don't have necessary skill for productive employment and livelihood and lack key competencies aligned with the changing demand of the dynamic market and lack workforce readiness. This is driving inequalities in health, education, and life chances and is most pronounced in some states and pockets of India. So, like post-independence, patterns of inequalities and exclusion continue to exist in India, largely due to deep-rooted social minorities and gender class. Its structures that perpetuate and limited opportunities for people. So systematically blocking them from availing of the right opportunities and resources that are usually available to all members of society. Within these groups, girls are further discriminated due to their sex, the degree to which the inequity exists where varies between a region and geographics. So what should be the way forward? So creating a common vocabulary, if I'm talking about without an agreed upon vocabulary and assessment framework, it is not possible to effectively scale up life skill delivery in India. The most meaningful way to enable this is to create a common vocabulary at the national level. If the 2005 National Curriculum Framework, if we see, it's helped to create a baseline for academic competencies. The new framework, envisioned by NEP 2020 are expected to do the same for life skill education. So the groundwork for this has already begun. The life skill collaborative, consortium of over 30 organizations with a multi-sector expertise working in tandem with the state government and educational institution. It has spent the last 18 months coming up with a glossary of key life skills term and a framework for life skill training. It's creating assessment tool. A robust assessment tool would enable us to assess the impact of each framework of life skill training and organize our efforts towards implementing the most effective framework. For instance, the future readiness assessment tool deployed across the 15 different pilot under a Young Warrior NXT was designed to provide comparable evaluation and learning across three key metrics: enrollment, engagement, and learning feedback. It would inform sustainability and future scalability, which become particularly important when dealing with large systematic shift in education department that span millions of students. So curating content on life skill, if I'm talking about, so appropriate, relevant, and contextual learning content available to all is the cornerstone to building life skill for the 21st century. So multiple learning solutions that aggregate high quality learning content on the most basic of academic subject have indeed revolutionized education. A similar solution to curate content on life skill could greatly benefit stakeholders invested in transcripting life skill at a scale. This would not only enable young people to take charge of their own learning, but also offer opportunity for collaboration with learning experts in the space and building on existing effort in the ecosystem. So using our existing system. Finally, to deliver life skill at a scale, existing school system and vocational training infrastructure must be leveraged. There are over 10 million teachers and over 1.5 million schools in India, a significant asset, base and delivery channel that can be tapped into. However, it is very important to note that teachers are already overburdened and the pressure of post-COVID catch-up is putting more stress on the system. So hence, it is essential that we adequately add support and guide the teachers with pedagogical and a framework, lesson plans and assessment tool to enable the delivery of life skill training within the mainstream curriculum. That was the important discussion actually. That's the significance of its education system in India. Thanks for watching.